Hello, I'm Cosmic Jack. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We have a big week ahead. We have Mercury finally direct in Pisces. So all of that chaos and confusion and just like technology annoyance is always just what I say Mercury retrograde is. All of the maybe communication mishaps and technology disturbances can finally move forward, and you might receive more clarity, more inspirations, more ideas, more intuitive downloads around your life, around your situation, around who you desire to be, around your purpose, your passion, your really like your spiritual lens and ways of being. Like, are you divine? Are you operating from like the divine maiden, divine high priestess energy, right? Because Pisces is the divine feminine. She is the powerful creator. She is connected to other worlds. And so you might just receive a lot of crazy ahas and inspirations and miraculous kind of insights this week now that Mercury is direct. And it's like, okay, our thought processes, we can finally like focus and see clearly and break free of the mental noise and the mental chatter and the mental chaos, because there has been a lot of reflection and a lot of review and a lot of releasing and recalibrating and rehashing the past. Because a lot of times when you have to close and you're entering the new energy, you really do have to sometimes face and reconcile and heal and release your past, because the version that you're becoming doesn't have those same hang-ups, they don't have those same energies, they don't have those same distortions, they don't have those same emotional charges. And so, and the way that you release them is you feel them and you heal them. And you release those thought patternings and you release those lens of perceptions and the way that you view things. So it's required you to completely change your lens of perceptions, look at your beliefs, look at your subconscious, and look at your methods of operating and see where you're not fully in congruence with the version of you that has what you're seeking, shall we say. And so Mercury direct is really kind of just like removing the fog and removing the rose-colored glasses so that you can see where those things are, and you can actually just direct your focus now and like start to make decisions upon the things that you really reflected and reviewed upon. And that energy was all made more kind of intense and powerful because Venus has also been retrograde since March 1st, and Venus has ingressed back into Pisces as well, where she linked with Neptune while Neptune was still in Pisces. She linked with the North Node. She's now with Saturn, and Saturn is your karmic dealer, your karmic dealer of your fate, of your mastery, of your lessons. Saturn has you face your fears. It is a place of karma in your chart, and wherever Saturn is, we have to heed to the lessons of Saturn. And so with Venus retrograde with Saturn this week, and with this full moon in Libra that's happening, there's going to be a lot of relationship lessons and come to Jesus moments and breakthroughs and breakups and like cementing of relationships, people getting married, people getting engaged, like major relational decisions are being made this week. And it's like this this big faded moment of your destiny, of your all of the work that you've been putting in internally with yourself and really becoming the person, the woman of your dreams, the man of your dreams, whatever that is. And really like seeing how that person views themselves and how they view their relationships. And so this week, there's this really building energy around our relationships. And our relationships start with our relationship with ourselves. And how do you see and view and value yourself? And you know, if you are coming from to relationship from a place of wholeness, you're going to attract in a whole, loving, supportive, divine counterpart, right? And it's the problem is we often come to relationship from a place of distortion, because we haven't done that internal work on ourselves to really align with the divine masculine and feminine energies. And if you want that in relationship, those things need to be embodied and integrated internally. And so the past 2 years of this Aries Libra nodal axis that we've been moving through with these eclipses are coming to fruition with this full moon in Libra. So you can think back to April 2023. What have been the lessons around your relationships, around your own internal masculine and feminine, around how you see, view, and value yourself, how you assert yourself, how you take action, your self-concepts, your boundaries, your standards? How have those all upgraded and elevated and shifted in the last 2 years? And really, if you want to look to the Libra axis, you can look back to last October when we had an eclipse in Libra, and then last March when we had an eclipse in Libra, because this full moon is bringing to a close that South Node in Libra lessons. And with the South Node in Libra, we were really clearing our lack of boundaries, our people-pleasing tendencies, our self-sacrificing tendencies, where we've settled for crumbs, where we put other people, we've prioritized other people over ourselves, where we've had low standards, where we've been overgiving, where we've prioritized the needs of other people, and really just where we've been out of balance with our own inner king and queen energy, right? And those are things that are frequencies. And it's about like really just raising your standard of living, raising your boundaries, raising your access to, and really just honoring yourself as that queen energy, as the divine priestess, the high priestess, you know, and really just holding yourself in high regard. And because you know that you improve and bring light to everything that you touch. And so in order to do that, it's really about integrating your inner masculine and feminine. I always say the work is on actually your own inner masculine, because when you have a strong inner masculine and you really trust yourself to make it happen, to make yourself safe, to make yourself feel secure, to make yourself feel supported, make yourself feel taken care of, to enforce boundaries, to instill high standards, your feminine will just naturally radiate and turn on and shine light, and you will experience a lot more joy, a lot more happiness, a lot more abundance, a lot more freedom, a lot more rest, a lot more relaxation, a lot more pleasure, a lot more play, like all of the feminine juicy things that make life worth living when you are anchored and grounded in your masculine and in your body, because that is where the feminine lives. She lives in the body, and so many women live out of their bodies. And so you really have to do that reconciliation work internally with your inner masculine and feminine to really feel safe in your body and raise your self-worth. And that's what this past 2-year cycle of the Aries Libra axis have been about. It's really about that inner harmony, that inner balance between the masculine and feminine and your own inner king and queen energy, because that is what is reflected back to you in your life in reality. And you know, so many things in this world mirror masculine energy. It's like support, it's business, it's success, it's it's a masculine man, it is a career, it is your safety, like it is financial, like there's so many things. It's God, it's source, it's universe. So your relationship with all of those things is important. And so it's important that you have a strong inner masculine internally as well. And it's not from a place of overworking or proving or hustling or needing to assert. It's just like, no, like a grounded presence with yourself and trusting yourself. It's like that self-trust and that self-appreciation and that self-love that you have for yourself, and really just valuing yourself and having strong boundaries and really being self-focused and self-determined and independent and sovereign in who you are, and just really being powerful in your own energy and prioritizing that accordingly. And when you do that, the feminine and your inner child just naturally radiate. And so think back the past 2 years, what have been the themes within your relationships? And if you want to know where you're at internally with your inner masculine and feminine, you just can look at your relationships. You can look at your relationships with everything: yourself, your body, food, your business, your success, your career, your friendships, your relationships, and ask yourself if they are rewarding, if they're fulfilling, if they're supportive, and if you're fully your authentic self as well, because that is what has been needing to be peeled back open. is your authenticity. Aries is authentic. It is the I personified. It is the I am statement. It is who you are when you're born. That is that Aries I identity. It is asserting your authenticity. It's speaking your truth. Like all of those things. It's like telling the world, this is who I am. And, it's really just owning that power of who you are here to be, and really just being authentic in your uniqueness, and owning it and not really giving a flying fuck, otherwise, because you validate and approve of yourself. And that's that Aries identity. It's not stuck in the overthought. It's not stuck in what will someone else think. It's just like, no, this is what I'm doing, and I'm gonna make it happen, and I'm going for it. It's not held back by limiting beliefs or the past or what could happen, because it is the first sign. It doesn't have the experience of the other 11 signs, so it's not held back by the insecurities or the fears of the past, because it hasn't experienced anything yet. So it's like kind of like looking at life from that newborn, fresh perspective, that fresh lens, that new way of thinking. It's like the Fool card. It's like you're just starting your journey. If you were just starting your journey and you're approaching things and you were this person, what would you do differently, right? So Aries is like kind of like that clean slate energy of like you can go be the fool and like go, you're going on the journey now. And so you're not limited by the things that happened to you in your past. You're not limited by the past heartbreak, because that hasn't, like, in that identity, it hasn't yet happened. And so you don't have that fear. You don't hold that fear internally within you. And so that is why Aries can be so authentic, because it's not held back by the past or its fears or its limiting beliefs. It is just like, oh, this is who I am. I'm a newborn baby. Like, this is me. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm all about. And just going for it. And so it's like we're recalibrating your identity with all of those things from the past. And that's why these retrogrades have been really helpful to set you up for the things that you need to release. Because again, that person that you're becoming doesn't have those same stories, Like the person who's in love with the love of her life doesn't have those stories that like men are trash, right? They don't have those stories that like love is lost or love is painful or like they have to overgive to be in a relationship. They don't have those stories because they're in love with the love of their life. And so it's about taking that identity and being like, what stories am I still playing out that can't come with me into this new identity? And then taking the action to really integrate it. Because as soon as you have an awareness of the pattern, of the emotion, of the charge, or whatever is holding you back, because for me, it's so much subconscious awareness has come through in the past month. And it's like you just then have to take action to integrate it. And Aries just takes action. It just moves. It doesn't question itself. It doesn't question its worthiness. It doesn't question if it can do it. Because again, it's that newborn fool energy. It just does it. And so it doesn't question things. And so where do you need to just like actually take more action to integrate and really embody the energy? And so this full moon is really bringing to fruition all of the work that you've been doing these last 2 years on your inner masculine, because the North Node was in Aries, which is ruled by Mars, your masculine, and how you assert yourself, how you take action, how you prioritize yourself, how you view yourself, your self-confidence, your self-concept, really your how you make yourself feel safe and secure, how you tend to your own needs, how you're self-interested, how you're independent, really having strong boundaries and strong standards, and really just developing your new identity. And so it's like with this full moon, it's like, okay, like we did the work, and now it's like things can be released, things can come to fruition, manifestation, and we can receive the results and the culmination of the hard work and effort. And so this week leading up to this full moon, expect to finally get some clarity and release some emotions around who you were in your past, the stories, the pain, the trauma, maybe of your inner child or a past relationship. And there's like a big forgiveness energy, and there's a big, like we're releasing ourselves from our past. And really, in order to come into a healthy, stabilized, supportive relationship, you don't want to come in with baggage. Like, you don't want to be in a relationship. Like, what if you met the love of your life and they were like still holding on to baggage from their ex? Like, I don't want to enter a relationship like that. And so it's like, you also have to do that work to release the baggage. You got to release the stories. You got to release the trauma, you know, whatever it was. It's like, because the version of you that you're becoming isn't holding on to those stories. They're because those stories aren't supportive of who they're becoming. It's like, those stories aren't supportive anymore. So you really actually have to release them. And just because it happened that way before, it doesn't mean it's going to happen that way again. Because your now identity is different, and your self-trust is different, and how you show up for yourself is different, and your standards are different, and your boundaries are different. And so it's not going to be the same energy. You know, when you know you've healed, because you start attracting in new energy, and you're like, oh right, like, I would never have to like teach this person how to show up and treat me. You know what I mean? Because it's like, whereas in the past, you know, if you attracted a partner and they may not treated you well, and it's like, well, I have to teach this guy to treat me. It's like, no, when you meet the level of your life, you don't have to teach them how to fucking treat you. Like, they're just gonna come fucking correct. Do you know what I mean? They're going to come correct. And so it's like, filter your life, your relationships through that lens, you know? It's like, are they just like recognizing me as the queen, as the king, as this person that I authentically am, because I did the work to align with that authenticity, and now I'm showing up as that person, and so now they're treating me as that person. And not just them, it's like the entire universe is now treating me as this person because I've embodied it. And so that's what this energy is this week. It's like, okay, like, did you do the work to become this next level version, this new identity, this like 10 out of 10 energy? And you can really look back to last October, last March, what were the themes around your relationships? Because that is what is coming to fruition. We also had an eclipse in Libra, October 2023. So think back to these Libra cycles. Because you're having an opportunity to free yourself from the baggage of your past and just completely align with a totally new kind of relationship. And again, that is your relationship with everything. The universe, with God source, with money, with a masculine man, with a feminine woman. Like, relationships of all kind are being recalibrated. And so what's so interesting is, like, again, after this full moon, Venus will station direct, conjunct Saturn. And so it's like, so much karma, so much mastery, so many lessons are coming to fruition. And then, of course, she will continue direct and connect again with the North Node, and then with Neptune in Aries. And so there's just like so much that is going to be revealed after this full moon. About the last, 6 weeks of her retrograde, but really the last 2 years of this Aries Libra cycle. And so I'm really excited to see the manifestations and the relationship recalibrations, and to really see the receiving that we get to experience after, you put in the work, you reap the rewards. And so just to really see what happens after this full moon. And so really pay attention to what comes up this week. If there's emotions, if there's the past, if there's people, if there's energies, if there's subconscious things that surface, it's because they do need to be released, because they cannot come with you to who you are becoming. So really pay attention and release to receive, baby, and enjoy this energy. If you want to book a session, definitely this is the week to do it, to make sure we are aligned, we're focused, we have clarity, and really I give you tangible takeaways and action steps for you to just like take action on and implement immediately. You can follow and subscribe to my Substack. I also have my Astrology 101 course. I have my Feminine Magnetism course. You can apply for my one-on-one coaching and astrology mentorship. But yeah, happy full moon, and really enjoy this energy.